Welcome to Thinking Outside the Soil with your host, Johnny Alfalfaseed, where we get to talk story and touch on topics about hydroponics and the farmers who grow the crops and creatures we need to eat. Good morning, and hello from Blooming Health Farms. And thank you for being with us on this beautiful morning. We have some warmer weather in the forecast, and the sun is shining and the weather is sweet, and it reminds me that spring is indeed here and alive in Colorado. And I wanted to share with you today about an event that I attended this past weekend called the Spring Show. You know, Blooming Health Farms got into poultry because of our success with backyard chickens here at the Alpha site and with our at-risk youth. Now, we were originally developing our programming along some other lines, but we soon saw how the birds could give value to our mission. And our mission is to provide affordable food, to provide mental health services and STEM education, to develop and implement a flexible food model that can be implemented anywhere at any time, and using less land, water, and energy to accomplish that, while ultimately making a profit being sustainable and environmentally conscious. I've recently been comparing our program to 4-H, and I jokingly say that our program is like 4-H for felons. So for those of you that may not know, 4-H is a group that helps young people learn practical skills through fun activities in farming, science, and community service activities. Kids can join local groups or get involved with camps that allow them to gain important life skills and ultimately help them become responsible, hardworking members of their community. So a while ago, I asked ourselves, what if we could find success by modeling agricultural education programs like 4-H? So one day, while sitting at a farmer's market this past winter, we sold out of our organic eggs in an instant. It happened in like 10 minutes. And I witnessed an at-risk youth selling eggs and then listened to him come up with a business plan on the fly about how to expand our egg-laying operation. At the time, we had a couple backyard birds, and he was trying to convince me to get more. And I was pushing back saying, we're in the city and we can't have that number of birds. But while he was trying to convince me that we did indeed need more chickens, I knew that this nonprofit was doing what it was supposed to do and is making a lot more progress than I ever expected. So it instantly became clear that Blooming Health Farms had to develop our programming and our business model more around egg-laying chickens. And you can go back to episode 6 in season 2, where I share a little bit more of that with you. So in trying to understand how that may look, and in the effort to get and not get grants, I came across the Colorado Poultry Association. So the Colorado Poultry Association is a group of people who love raising birds like chickens and other poultry such as ducks and geese. Now, they've been around since the late 1800s, and they work together to make sure that everyone raises healthy, high-quality birds. And they also organize fun events like workshops, fairs, and bird shows such as the Spring Show. So Colorado Poultry Association and 4-H are similar programs because they both focus on educating people and promote the responsible raising of animals. While the Colorado Poultry Association is mainly about poultry, 4-H tends to cover a bigger range of topics in the farming industries that bring in science and other areas. But both groups do bring people together, they share knowledge, and they organize events to help members learn and enjoy their hobbies or interests. And there's a lot of curriculum that both organizations share, which makes a lot of sense since 4-H is born from the United States Department of Agriculture, and it tends to spearhead a lot of agricultural education efforts. I went to learn about the Colorado Poultry Association and participate in the egg competition. I ended up talking to a lot of the individuals in charge, and I played the Never Have I Ever Been Here Before so that I could learn. So today I want to share how I got to know more by going to the spring show at one of our local fairgrounds. But real quick, since I got you, if you could be so kind as to leave us a review, let me know what you've enjoyed or what you might want to hear in the future. And don't forget to let others know why they should stick around as well. So the Spring Show is an annual event that focuses on showmanship of poultry and exhibiting those birds. But it also features local members' activities and businesses. Anyone that might have some equipment or resources for sale was able to set up and market it to others. We have been getting really great eggs here at Blooming Health Farms, so I figured a better way to understand how we can get better eggs is by going to a competition. So showing an animal or an animal product really requires a person to learn a lot about the animal in all of its form. So those that show animals and their products are likely a wealth of really useful information. When you see really happy, healthy animals, it tends to say that there's some really good things going on behind the scenes. I like to say that the proof is in the pudding. Now, I've been comparing our eggs here at Blooming Health Farms to other eggs on the shelf at the grocery store, though I asked myself, what if I could compare those to people who are trying to show eggs at a different standard? So why not look at other standards in the egg industry? Now, it's one thing for an egg inspector to grade your eggs, but it's really a whole different beast when an egg is being directly compared to another egg. I spent my Saturday morning talking to all of these different Colorado Poultry Association people and soon teased out the individual who was participating and helping with the egg competition. I learned that she was a former USDA egg inspector, and I immediately tried my best to find some common grounds by bringing in the individuals that I knew and tried to network with. I usually name drop anyone that I knew or know in the USDA in an effort to try to find some common ground. And unfortunately, we didn't know any of the same individuals, but I was able to ask all sorts of questions and learned a lot about her background. We talked extensively about Colorado State University, and we had a wonderful conversation about Temple Grandin and other aspects of animal welfare and animal husbandry. While learning how the egg show worked, I got to see how eggs were being entered into the competition, and I quickly saw that I was not as prepared as I could have been. So each entrant, each person submits 3 eggs from the same chicken. Well, we have mostly brown layers here, and I have a lot of golden comets or red stars who have less distinguishable eggs from the other. So it's a challenge sometimes to really identify from egg to egg which individual it comes from. Had I known that this was how the competition was conducted, I would have segregated those eggs during the collection period. But fortunately, I do know a few of my girls because they are very unique individuals. We have a Buff Orpington and an Araucana. And I ended up bringing some eggs for sale. So I pulled those two ladies' eggs from those cartons and entered them into the egg competition. The judging happened around midday, so I waited for a few hours and had an opportunity to meet more members, check out lots of beautiful birds, and then just enjoy the atmosphere there. I ended up meeting a lot of individuals whose youth were participating in the junior and 4-H show that they were conducting during the morning aspect while I was initially there. So as soon as the egg judging began, everyone who entered an egg huddled around the judge and literally hovered over them while they were working. Now, the judge takes an egg, he cracks it on a small plate, and then he inspects the shell for a couple different things. Most notably, he's looking on the inside at the size of the air shell, and then he is looking at the different aspects of the yolk, the color, how it stands, how it comes out. And as all of these eggs are being cracked, I would look around to each person and ask them, "Ooh, what are you feeding? Oh, what are your girls eating?" And one grower had some really orange eggs, which ended up sparking up a feed conversation. And I got to meet another feed seller on the Eastern Plains. And so I got to see immediately that I did not select the freshest eggs when I went to the cooler and found those two birds. But what is neat is that we ended up taking second place for our eggs. The Araucana got second. So that was really cool because I didn't even bring the freshest eggs. And I attribute that to my lack of experience and really not knowing where to look for that information from the get-go. I was soon given the APA, or the American Poultry Association, standards for eggs, and I have references for the standards on the commercial food safety side. So I got to learn a wealth of information on our eggs, and I know that this is going to be integral into understanding what it means for Blooming Health Farms to better build out an agricultural education program that is centered on our mission and helping our target population. I've talked a lot about agricultural education, but I specifically mention agricultural education in episode 47 and episode 51 of season 1. So head on over to those and hear a bit more about how we are trailblazing and recognizing that we are indeed on the right path here for our nonprofit mission. And as part of that mission, we have teased out all of our successes and setbacks to develop what we have piloted as our egg to table program. And it's a bit of a play off of the farm to table idea. So join me again on our next episode where I will share more about the Egg to Table program. Though that is all I have for us today. If you want to know more about how hydroponics is helping farmers save water, improve livestock quality, and helping us all become better stewards, head on over to thinkingoutsidethesoil.com to get yourself a copy of my book. It's now available on audiobook, so you can listen to it while you are doing whatever it is that you need to do, so you can join in on becoming part of the next hydroponic agricultural revolution. Thank you for being with us on today's show, and join us again on another episode of Thinking Outside the Soil. Take care and have a lovely day. Hey, before you go, check out the links below, and if you'd be so kind as to leave a rating and review and follow the show. For those with feathered friends, don't forget to get yourself some of our Blooming Health Farms Chicken Blend Sprouting Mix. This supplemental mix has been shown to give you some of the best eggs with the yummiest yolks. You'll have happy, healthy hens that abandon the feeder and give you eggs with high levels of vitamin A and omega fatty acids. So don't forget to get yourself some Blooming Health Farms Chicken Blend Sprouting Mix.